Hello and high fives out there to everybody. My name is Jack Jennings and this is my story. It is definitely a story of love, mercy, and grace from my Holy Father, as well as forgiveness that I received from Him and my family. I stand before you today as absolute proof that God can change anyone that is in darkness, addiction, or self-pity and bring them out into the light. I guarantee it. This happened to me on February 18th, 2012, back a ways, when my old self died and my new self was born again. I stood in this field behind my apartment in Fort Collins, Colorado, crying tears of sorrow, guilt, and shame, failure. Leading up to that morning of my realignment, I call it, the realigning of my heart, recycled my heart. And looking back through 59 years of my life, I went through 3 marriages, I had 8 children, theirs, mine, ours. I drank beer heavily for 32 years. I was addicted to crack cocaine for 7 years. Crack cocaine became my God. Prior to that morning, looking back at my last marriage of 27 years, I single-handedly remortgaged our home, our rental properties. I used our motor home, our Harley Davidsons, 2 of them, different vehicles and assets as collateral to obtain monies to buy cocaine. And I spent and I lost $250,000. I figure pretty close to that in 7 years. I became an evil man who burnt bridges to my family, business clients, and friends, lying to them and coercing them into loaning me monies to buy cocaine. The morning of the February 18th, I had no money, no real food, and my work van was out of gas. I was facing eviction, and I was over $1,900 behind in my rent, and March 1st was 11 days away, where I owed even more. An eviction notice was definitely imminent, any day. I was a scrapper for recyclables, and about 2 weeks before my day of realignment, I responded to this ad in Craigslist to some folks who wanted a small metal lawnmower shed removed from their property. And I left a message to call them back. Little did I know that this was going to change my life unmeasurably. The morning of February 18th, I took my dog Maggie, who is not with us anymore. She's waiting on me, I hope. And I started to walk out in this large field behind my apartment. When I got outside, I was a bit shocked, and there was just amazing frost everywhere on everything. It looked like silver tinsel rope that you put on around, on your Christmas tree, pretty much everywhere. The large field in the back was ryegrass, and it was about 3 to 4 foot in height. There were walking trails through it because the neighbors and stuff walked through it. Back to this irrigation ditch, and the entire field at this time was just pure white, beautiful, not frost. The houses, the power lines, the trees, and that ryegrass had this dynamic, thick frost, a very rare hoarfrost. It's called HOAR frost occurrence. Everywhere Maggie walked made this beautiful path as the frost fell off, allowing the rust, green, and tan colors show through, marking this long trail going out towards the trees that morning. The weather was cold but calm on the field. The clouds were turbulent up above. I remember they're just like swirling all over, but it was calm down below. And the sun was about 10 o'clock that morning. It would appear in and out of the clouds as they kind of blew by that sun. I stopped walking in front of these large trees that were along a canal, and with my head down, I was crying tears of sorrow. And I felt that I was in one of the darkest moments of my life. I looked up at the swirling clouds and the sun, and I just threw my hands up in the air and I cried out to God. I said, "Please help me, Father, please help me." to my amazement, the clouds kind of moved away from the sun, and this large spotlight of the sun shined on this entire field. And I looked up and, I was reminded, it looked like a flashlight was just shining down, not exactly on me, but the whole field. I'm standing in the middle of it, basically. And when I looked back up to the sun, I felt this amazing, wonderful feeling I've ever had of warmth and peace just overwhelmed me, and this love. And the words came through my mind and said, "Give me your heart and come follow me." And this was so profound. I just couldn't believe it. So what have we learned today so far from watching this video? Number one, forgiveness from God and family is possible. And number two, God can change anyone that's in darkness, addiction, or self-pity and bring them out into the light, even you.